Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap. I'm Jared Johnson, and Texas Tech fell to 1-3 on the season. They lost their Big 12 opener 20-13 at West Virginia, and it was a very frustrating game, needless to say, especially on offense. The Red Raiders really struggled. Not only that, but they lost starting quarterback Tyler Shuck to what looked like a really severe left ankle injury. He was carted off. He left in a air cast. He gave a guns up on his way out, but it looks like Texas Tech's going to be without Tyler Shuck for a long time. The offense struggled when he was in there. They struggled after he left. Really, not until the fourth quarter did the Red Raiders get on track much at all on offense. Baron Morton struggled, but it wasn't just all on him. The offensive line struggled. Receivers dropped a lot of passes. Morton was inaccurate. He was hit a lot as well. Taj Brooks was the saving grace. He kind of willed him and the offensive line in run blocking, willed the Texas Tech back into the game, along with the defense, which held West Virginia to just 20 points, under 300 total yards, less than 4 yards per carry, and they also forced 2 turnovers, which they gave the ball to Texas Tech's offense both times in West Virginia territory. The first time they got a field goal in the first quarter after they were given the ball inside the West Virginia 30, and then just right around midfield, but in West Virginia territory, they got another interception. The first one came from Malik Dunlap, cornerback, and that's 3 interceptions for him in 2 games. And then Ben Roberts, the young, very promising inside linebacker, also got an interception. But Texas Tech wasn't able to do anything. They turned the ball over on downs after that turnover. So offense only was able to generate 13 points. They did come back and had a chance to tie it late. They had 1st and 10 at the 11 with under a minute left, but 2 timeouts. Again, on the backs of Taj Brooks, who had almost 150 yards, 6 yards per carry. But 4 incompletions, and West Virginia came away with a big win for their head coach Neil Brown and the Mountaineers. So they moved to 3-1. They snapped a 4-game losing streak to Texas Tech. The Red Raiders, again, fell to 1-3 and 0-1 in the Big 12. And quite honestly, this was there's no beating around the bush. This was a devastating loss. This is a game that Texas Tech was favored by 6. I think I saw 6.5 at one point on the road, but still found a way to lose. Obviously the season opening loss to Wyoming when they were favored by 14 was tough as well. So now they got Houston coming in next week. Donovan Smith, the former quarterback, who won some big games for Texas Tech. They're coming in, and that becomes another must-win game. I really felt like this game against West Virginia was a must-win for this season. And now you really have to rearrange your expectations. You got to wonder who on the schedule Texas Tech can beat at this point. I think Houston's a prime candidate, but they got to do it. Another big stat is Texas Tech fell to 1-6 on the road under Joey McGuire. That's a really bad stat, and that's a real thing now. That's a talking point now that Texas Tech has not played well at all on the road under Joey McGuire. So there's a lot of things Texas Tech has to figure out, but starting on offense, they're really struggling. I think you really got to tailor your offense around Taj Brooks and the rushing attack, because that seems to be clearly the strength, but you have to stick with it once you get in the red zone. There's a lot of play calling. There are a lot of play calling questions coming out of that game. Texas Tech offensive coordinator Zach Kittley. I think not going to the straight running game with the running backs is a big question. Not running the ball after Taj Brooks kind of willed you down there inside the red zone there late. Those 4 incompletions to end the game is a head scratcher. There was a 3rd and 2 earlier on that drive where they threw a fade that was incomplete. When your passing game had struggled a lot, you were bailed out by Taj Brooks on a 4th and 2 run, but then again, he never saw the ball again in crunch time when you really needed to score a touchdown. So there are a lot of questions there with the offense and play calling that need to get figured out and get figured out in a hurry. But we're going to have tons of content day after podcast with Mighty Joe and I, his Jaeger shots if they're not already posted as well. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.